Hey, this is Rich, founder of Underbutter, and I'm here at the start of the Highlands Gran Fondo coming up on June 6th, presented by the Gran Fondo National Center. We're excited to be a partner sponsor of the event series. Since this one is in our backyard, we went out and scouted the course. Looking at the Gran route, it's a mix of flats and bumps in 4 time segments. In this blog piece, we're going to focus on the first time section. But first, let's talk about the morning routine the day of. Fuel up with plenty of coffee and make sure your equipment is ready. And don't forget to protect your most important gear with Underbutter Chamois Cream. With 7 natural oils and butters, Underbutter has 30% lower friction compared to any other competitor and has 50% greater moisture capacity. This is super important for long days on the saddle and with lots of sweating during those time sections. You hit the first time section, which climbs up Macapin only 1.5 miles into the course, so make sure your legs are warmed up. The section is just shy of 4.7 miles with an average grade of 2.4%. On paper it sounds easy, but you hit the highest grades, which are north of 8%, the early part, and there are lots of false flats you need to power through. Now I'm no KOM maker. There are roughly 30 people ahead of my Strava time, so take what I say with a grain of salt. I like to look at this profile in a compressed view, where 4 distinct sections come to light. The first 2 comprise a bit more than half of the total length, and I prefer to pace these sections, remaining in the saddle except for a few of the steepest sections. For these 2, I'm at or just above FTP, or max effort. The third part I call the power section, where I spend the most time out of the saddle, and I'm really pushing out all I can. For me personally, I like to bring on the pain here and use different muscles so that the last section feels like a TT rather than a climb. After the third hump, it's more like a time trial segment with punchy bumps, so hammer over them to keep your momentum. Like any time segment, you need to know where the start is and come in hot. Look for this building on the left and get your speed up before the marked time section. Remember, this is a mass start group event with people of varying capability. This is not a stage of the Giro. If you're blocked, do a mental reset, don't blow up your legs, pace for the long game. Here I am in the first section. As I said, I'm pacing myself, staying in the saddle. The earlier part is where the highest grades are, so make sure you just power through. And as you're working, make sure you look around and enjoy the view. For this first section, you're going to have varying grades and sometimes false flats, so I'm hopping in between the big and the little ring throughout. Now we get to the second section, and as I said, I like to pace this one too, again staying in the saddle, but really pushing hard. You can see here I'm working hard, and I'm hopping in between the big and the little ring. In this video clip, I actually do crest the hump at the end of the second section before you get into the third one. So you're going to see that it gets a little bit easier toward the end. Now we get to the third section, which is straightforward. It's just climbing. There's no false flats. So this is where I go to my dark place, get out of the saddle, and just mash it till I get to the top. I like to think of this fourth section as a mini time trial. It's rolling terrain except for the bump at the end. Here you can really get into the groove, just hold consistent power and enjoy the speed. Since this is the last section, you should be giving it all you got anyway. If you find a fast wheel, hop on and try to work together to improve your time. There aren't too many indicators for the finish. You might see this blue building on the right, and you have about 1 or 2 minutes before a fork in the road, you'll see the finish. So that's how we tackled this first time section. I hope you enjoyed this short overview. And the Highlands Gran Fondo is just a few days away on June 6th. So to go to GranFondoNationalSeries.com and register. We look forward to seeing you there.